Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Yevamot. We are up to Perek Bet Mishnah Aleph. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'ilun Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Aranbayev, and Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Menuchatam beGan Eden, Amen, and Avdi ben Chaim Lechaim, v'derefua Shlema, Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, B'tor Shar Chulei Israel. In chapter 1, Mishnah 1, we learned that one of the 15 ervas who exempt their kois from chalitza and ibum is the wife of a brother whose world he did not share. Our Mishnah describes this case. Ketzad eshet achiv shelo haya be'olamo. What is the case where the wife of a brother whose world he did not share exempts her kois from chalitza and ibum, as chapter 1 Mishnah 1 taught? Shnei achim, there were two brothers, umet ahad mehem, and one of them died. V'nolad le'en ach, and then another brother was born. Every case of this type involves three brothers. The one who died, the one who was alive at the time he died, and the brother who was born afterward. Throughout this Mishnah and the next, we will refer to the brother who died as the first brother, the one who lived at the same time as him as the second brother, and the one born afterward as the youngest brother. So Shnei Achim, there were two brothers, umet ahad mehem, and one of them died, v'nulad le'en ach, and then another brother was born. V'achagachi bem hasheni et eshet achiv. Afterward, the second brother, who was living when the first brother died, performed yibum with his brother's wife. He also had another wife, vamet, and then he too died childless and left the two widows. Neither of them requires yibum or chalitza with the youngest brother. Harishona yotzed mishum eshet achiv shelo haya be'olamo. The first wife, the one who had been married to the first brother, is exempt. She has no yibum bond to her husband's family and may go out and marry outside the family on account of being toward the youngest brother, the wife of a brother whose world he did not share, which makes her an ervat to him. V'ashniya mishum tzarata, and the second wife goes out on account of being her co-wife, the co-wife of an erva. The Mishnah now addresses a case where the second brother did not perform yibum with the first brother's widow, but only ma'amar, declaration, which is the act of betrothal that the rabbi said should be performed before yibum. Although under Torah law, a yibum marriage takes effect only by way of having relations, the rabbis instituted that for the sake of propriety, this should be preceded by an act of kiddushin, betrothal. The man gives the woman an object of value or a kiddushin document and declares in the presence of two witnesses that he is betrothing her with it, as it says in Kiddushin chapter 1 Mishnah 1. They are then considered husband and wife on a rabbinic level. Once they have relations, they are married on the biblical level. This is different from an ordinary non-yibum marriage, which occurs in two steps by biblical law. The first step is Kiddushin, which is done like we described. This makes the couple husband and wife on a biblical level, but they may not yet live together. The second step, Nisuin, is where the man takes the woman into his domain and they begin living together. So our Mishnah says, Asaba Ma'amar, if the second brother performed Ma'amar with the first brother's wife and he had another wife as well, Vamet, and then he died childless without performing Yibum, so he left two widows. One is full wife and the other one is Ma'amar wife. Hashniya choletzet, then the second wife, which is the full wife of the second brother, performs chalitza with the youngest brother, v'lo mitebemet, but she may not be taken in yibum by him. Since the ma'amar wife never had yibum, she was not married to the second brother under biblical law. The full wife cannot undergo yibum because the ma'amar wife is considered to have been partially married to her husband. Since ma'amar is not effective under biblical law, the rabbis viewed it as making only a partial marriage, and therefore she is treated as betrothed only as a stringency, but now where this would lead to a leniency, as the Mishnah's ruling illustrates. Since the ma'amar wife is an erva to the youngest brother, the full wife is partially a co-wife of an ervatim and therefore forbidden for yibum. But since the ma'amar wife was never fully married to the second brother and was not considered his wife at all under biblical law, she cannot exempt the full wife from her yibum bond to the youngest brother. Therefore, the full wife must receive chalitza from the youngest brother to be free to marry. The chalitza of the ma'amar wife, however, would not help to free the full wife, since on the biblical level they are not co-wives. Therefore, he performs chalitza to the full wife, the second brother's second wife. And that is in a Mishnah Aleph. Now, This Mishnah Alayev described the case of the wife of a brother whose world he did not share, as where the youngest brother was born before the second brother performed Yibum. This Mishnah Bet, cites a dispute as to whether it makes a difference if the youngest brother was born after the second brother performed Yibum. Shnei Achim, if there were two brothers, Umet Achad Mehen, and one of them died. V'ibem Hasheni et Eshet Achiv, and the second brother performed Yibum with his brother's wife. Ve'achekach nolad lahen ach, and afterward their brother was born. Vamet, and the second brother then died childless as well, leaving two widows, the first brother's wife and his own wife. Here too the law is the same. The first wife, the one who was originally married to the first brother, goes out free to marry others without yibum or chalitza, on account of being toward the youngest brother, the wife of a brother whose world they did not share. And the second wife goes out on account of being her co-wife. According to this Tana, it makes no difference whether the new brother was born before the yibum or afterward. Either way, the first brother's widow is forbidden to him. Asaba ma'amar, if the second brother made ma'amar with the first brother's wife, vamet, and died childless before performing yibum with her, and he left another widow as well. Hashneah choletzet, and the second wife, the full wife, performs chalitza with the youngest brother. V'lo mitebemet, but may not be taken in yibum by him, and this too is the same as the previous Mishnah. However, Rabbi Shimon disagrees with the first ruling. Rabbi Shimon says, since the second brother married the first brother's widow before the youngest brother was born, miyabem le'ezu men shirtzeh, the youngest brother may perform yibum with any of the second brother's widows that he wishes, or choletz ez men shirtzeh, or perform chalitza with any of them that he wishes. According to Rabbi Shimon, the first brother's widow is considered nervat to the youngest brother only if she is still in need of yibum or chalitza at the time he is born. But in our case, where the second brother already performed yibum with her before he was born, she has no connection to him as the wife of the first brother, but only as the wife of the second brother. Therefore, he can perform yibum or chalitza with either of the widows, and the other one is free to marry. This follows the general rule that once the brother performs yibum or chalitza with one widow, the others are free to marry. And the Rav does tell us, Ven alachak Rabbi Shimon, the alachat does not follow the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. That is the Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.